Match about to start. Bombers won the toss. They kick to the left of screen. Chris Mitchell will throw the ball in the air. I notice a James Hird starting in the centre square. So that's a little change there. And a free kick immediately picked out and going to Derek Kickett. So Lee, Hird starting up in the centre square at the beginning of the match.
Yes, it happens quite regularly. My concern is he can get the ball anywhere on the ground, but he's never in the forward line when they need him if he's up the ground like that.
Free kick to Berbatov. To Pryor. Robbo, welcome. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Bruce. Looking forward to an interesting game as usual here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Pryor's kick is good. Fraser, the last-minute inclusion at the expense of Damien Hardwick. His kick towards half-forward and lands on the chest of Hird. Gives the handball away to Cockatoo-Collins. Back he goes to Hird. Hird gets past. Then, gee whiz, sit underneath this Sean Denham and be honest. He did, but it was taken away nearly by O'Loughlin. But the free kick has been selected there by the umpire, and it will go to Essendon, and to be taken by Gary O'Donnell, being held by the jumper. O'Donnell, the Essendon captain. Perhaps his season so far not quite what he would have liked. Beautiful kick in towards half-forward. Danaher could have nearly been paid the mark. Handball over the top. Somerville tries to get it back in the direction of Fletcher. He gets it eventually. Fletcher right up the ground. He's kicked towards full forward. No mark. After it goes Kelthorpe. He's ridden into the ground there by Luff. The ball over.
Somerville at the back. Ruse, hip and shoulder was good. To Luff, controlled it well actually to Grant. Grant can attack. Out wide in front of Lockett. Oh, he took it beautifully, the big man. His handball inside was good. Maxwood under pressure. Bouncing ball. Coming back as a goal. What about that? Mark Fraser, the late inclusion for Damien Hardwick. The only change to the team's name last night. O'Connor had a fair bit of it. Philandia, very well done inside. Then Dyson. Ruse out after it. Will be outnumbered. I think the boundary line might be the best option. He works Fletcher towards it. Chapman's there with Mercedes. Mercedes was trying to claim off Chapman out of bounds on the full, but the boundary umpire was well placed. There's Paul Ruse coming up towards 300 games. Started his career way back in 1982. So he's in his 15th season of senior football. Mercedes floater. Back to about the 50. Dunkley with those long arms. Cockatoo-Collins clever to Doolan. Good kick to the front of the square. At the back, Symons. They all went to ground. Danaher, the easiest of goals, goes around and kicks it. Bombers in attack. Chris Danaher scored their goal. Stewie Maxfield, the goal scorer for Sydney. Quick kick by Denham. Fraser got a bad bounce within Maxfield. Denham against the flow. Showed some courage. O'Loughlin. Well played by Fletcher. Now to Pryor. Pryor in the centre.
Pryor off his left foot. Across the half-forward line. Good crumbing provided by Doolan. Doolan's quick kick towards full forward. But just picking that off a little bit quicker than his opponent, Kelthorpe, was McPherson. And he's marked on that full back line. He goes short, and the mark is taken there by Cresswell. He's helped out with a shepherd provided by Seymour. Gives him a clean path, and his kick into the centre has been taken by Chapman. Chapman's kick is in the Lockett direction, and he's taken the mark. A good one in front of Wellman. He's 50 metres from goal. So testing material for Big Plugger.
Yeah, got the big body in front, and really once he gets that frame in front and jumps, hard for any defender. Wellman hasn't got the size to be able to get over the top once Lockett gets the front position.
Well, we'll soon see which in the wind advantage is. It's a terrific kick by Lockett. It's a goal. And the Swans 3 goals straight, lead Essendon 1-3. We've got just over 5 minutes left. Doolan runs away, then gets it back onto his right foot and kicks it very nicely. Hits O'Connor on the chest from about 40 metres. O'Connor looks to play on. Get the ball into the forward line quickly. Give those boys back there a chance to take it, but it's brilliantly taken behind James Hird by the Brownlow medalist Kelly. Plays on, gets it down to McPherson. He could be run down. No, he gets clear and then kicks it back towards the wing. The race is on now, and Doolan is first back. Another little short kick, and Berbatov had to sit underneath it, taken away by Chris Danaher.
Danaher attacks the goal front. Kick too far for Hird. A couple of times Hird's been let down by players coming forward. Kelly's kick. Chapman, well done to be in the contest, and clever by Dyson to kick it. whose handball should be accurate. It's brilliant to Maxfield. If it sits, he could go all the way. Fraser runs brilliantly to run him down, and then Maxfield kicks poorly. That's a very ordinary effort, actually. Thompson's got it, so a chance gone. Berbakoff at half-back. His kick to centre wing to Doolan's a good one. Doolan has been prominent early. Didn't take the mark, but will run off at Ruse. Left foot, well done again by Shannon Grant, and then ridden into the ground by Mercury. He'll get a free kick. The advantage is given to Creswell. Now Kickett will have to move. Oh, clever to Dyson. Wonderful vision. Problems here. Well done, Dunkley. Little give by Chapman to Kickett. Kickett could go over the top. Tries a torp. Again, a poor effort. So Maxfield and Kickett are blazed and let their forwards down, and Somerville's taken the mark.
Well, especially when you get clear possession like they have from the 50-metre area, and they weren't under pressure when either one of them kicked the football. Somerville has found Bomber Thompson. Bomber Thompson runs outside the 50, kicks close to the line on centre wing, and it's knocked away there by Troy Luff from Ben Doolan.
Stafford and Somerville missed them, and Danaher was there along with Dyson. Fraser, well done. Harvey, Ruse gets hold of him, the 2-1s. Then Berbakoff getting it from Harvey. Hurd again underneath it. Kelly courageously. Symons hard at it. Hurd's give good to O'Connor. Chance round the body or behind. So the Bombers have had a few shots, haven't they? At 1-5 to 3 goals. O'Connor, that one just round the body. We begin the second term on Friday night football at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Sydney lead 3 goals, Essendon 1-5. Stafford went early, Somerville won it cleverly to Denham. On to Mercedes, on to full forward. Hurd came charging out, Mercury in the front spot, tried to give it to Harvey. Hurd, Dunkley away, then a floater to centre wing. Ruse, front position. Reasonable start by Ruse tonight. Quickly on to Lockett. Lockett a fair way from goal. He's in the front. Wellman waited, punched away. Carey, little give. Lockett, traps. Handball couldn't quite get to Carey on hands and knees. O'Brien clever. O'Loughlin. And off balance in the end, missing. And out of bounds, right forward pocket. So some good deft working close there by the Swans. But accounting for no score in the end, as Somerville, who's covered a lot of territory here tonight. As Lee said, he's getting back to play across the full back line quite a bit and helping out on Tony Lockett, and he's to bring the ball back in.
And that's in that slippery area in that left back pocket, but he gets the kick out towards the wing. It's still there. McRae overruns it. It could have nearly been deemed as a free kick, but the umpire decided to allow play to go on. Eventually has decided on a ball up on centre wing. No messing around, just throwing it straight in the air. No one really keen to take possession of the football. Pryor gets it to Doolan. Doolan back to Pryor. No space there for Pryor. Dispossessed by O'Loughlin. And O'Loughlin will take the free kick. Quickly moves it on towards centre half forward. Out goes Lockett. Oh, he's crashed 3 players to the ground. They'll know he's around. Back it towards the middle of the ground. Cresswell. Free kick has been picked out and it will come back. Well, it looked as though it may have been for the advantage of the Swans there. And this really is a disadvantage, being brought back to the middle of the ground where Shannon Grant will take the free kick. It's a beautiful kick of the football off that left side in the Lockett direction, and he's just plucked it out of mid-air. Magnificent mark by Lockett. And he's definitely within scoring distance, only about 40 metres, maybe a little closer, and about a 45-degree angle.
I think Berbakoff is his new opponent. I think already Kevin Sheedy, and Berbakoff hasn't got much size about him here. Really, Ryan O'Connor's up in the forward line. He's probably the only player of equivalent size in the Essendon lineup to Lockett.
Well, when they mean business, the Swans, they're a very, very difficult combination to overcome, and it looks as though they're on song tonight. Although they only lead at this stage 3 goals to 1-5, Lockett could just break that out by another 6 points, and you really would back him in here. Such a beautiful kick of the football. Right over the top of it, follows it straight through and splits the centre of the goals.
Dyson wide.
Well, low scoring, anything can happen. Mercedes marked, only one to judge that. Finished up lobbing right on his chest. And he looks to play on. Hooks the kick a little bit towards the front of the goals. Philandia gets the hand pass away. Grant, left foot kick out to the advantage of the Swans. They've got 2 on 1. O'Loughlin takes from McPherson, or Scary it was. Now O'Loughlin, left foot kick, pretty good. Oh, misunderstanding there between Derek Kickett and Luff. Luff took the mark in the finish. Kicks back towards the middle of the ground. Taken there by Dyson. Maybe for a fleeting second was going to try and play on.
Peter Ford and Christine Bath from the Seven Sunshine program looking on. And they'll be pleased with Creswell. Peter was a great Aussie Rules fan when he lived in America, and I've met Christine, and she also is a big Sydney supporter. So great to see the 7 personalities out here tonight at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Cresswell in towards full forward. Good kick, good lead. Mark to Lockett.
You feel this is their chance, Lee, to pinch a break, don't you?
Well, they are getting clear. I mean, actually, Berbakoff wasn't shifted onto Lockett. It must have just been he tried to help out Wellman in the last marking contest. Wellman's still in. I think coming from the Swans' defence, we saw Shannon Grant help bring the ball out, and I think he's a young player who's really going to see a lot of in the years ahead. He's a very, very good player. Sets the ball up, and eventually the Swans have tipped it around to Lockett to have the set shot.
Well, Lockett is only 30 metres out. Angle not a problem. It's another goal to the Swans.
Been very accurate, Sydney. Lockett 4 goals. He kicked one out of bounds on the full early in the first quarter when it was a hard one from a long way out when he was slung, when he kicked the ball. But his set shots have been terrific. Hurd's going to get a free kick.
Gee, that was ordinary.
A little push in the back, the umpire says. Kelly disappointed. Hurd from 60 metres. He's going to go to the goal square. Stafford back. Calthorpe from the side. And Stafford's going to be paid it. Probably just in front of Calthorpe, and probably just had it before Calthorpe got a good grip of it. And Stafford gives it up to Philandia. Doesn't really have anyone to go to. May go to Roos. Decides to go long. Wants Kelly or McRae. Doolan stands his ground. McRae gives away a little free kick, which was not good football because it was a 50-50 contest. And he's given it up as Harvey gets it from Doolan. Harvey keeping it low to full forward, and O'Connor just gets rid of Seymour a bit too easily that time and takes the mark. So an important shot here for the Bombers.
I think this is pretty important. O'Connor has to stamp his influence on the game. He's got the player in the Essendon forward line with the real size and bulk against a smaller opponent in Seymour. So he needs to take these few marks to put the scoreboard goal scoring pressure on the Swans.
Kicks from 35, and it's close. It's missed, so that's a real blow. In that first quarter lead, there were a lot around the bodies that missed, and a couple of them you could forgive. And I think on one occasion a Sydney player missed it, but
yeah, the set shots are the ones you have to get when you get them from 30 metres out.
Gee, Symons chased hard as Kelly gave the ball, and Symons might have forced an error. Harvey short to Hurd. A lot of handballs in the opening term, but hasn't had an influence really. Denham back to the goal square. Cummings, good mark. That's a terrific lead.
You know, Bruce, it's a low-scoring game. You feel that the Swans have probably played a little bit better in their forward moves, but in a low-scoring game, just 2 quick goals, and that side that's been trailing, all of a sudden are right back in it.
It's been a very good sign for Essendon. They've taken 2 overhead marks close to goal. I think that's what they needed to do. The rest of the game they're doing okay, but marking the ball in the forward 50, that's where the easy goals are kicked, and now Cummings has his chance.
Surely he'll convert. He's a bit closer than O'Connor, and he does. It's a goal.
Well, Harvey's had a bit of an impact also across the middle of the ground for Essendon. He's had 7 possessions. James Hurd picks it up out of that heavy, muddy area, and a mark has been taken by O'Connor. Now, surely Ryan O'Connor would have a better idea now. He's had 1 kick from not that far away from where he is now. And he does pretty well in the finish. Well, just nonchalantly grabbed it with his right hand.
I think about this point, Rodney Eade would be considering whether he's got a better matchup for O'Connor. He just looks too strong in the body-to-body duels for Seymour. Maybe a Troy Luff or a player of that nature who's currently on interchange.
As O'Connor shoots for goal, Stephen Carey has taken his place on the interchange bench. O'Connor capitalises and gets the Bombers' 3rd goal.
Cummings and O'Connor being important, and Hurd in that centre a couple of times. Creswell. Hurd holds him up. 3-7 to 5 goals. Lockett with 4 goals for Sydney. Chris Mitchell, Brett Allen and Jamie Love.
Harvey, no opponent at centre half back.
Left hand belt out towards Thompson, who has to concede. Wellman in trouble. He tried to ride a couple. Thompson got rid of it. Wellman went off the ground. Creswell couldn't get over an opponent. Mercedes had it for a long time. Good decision. Play on. Hurd getting a lot of hard balls in the middle to Pryor. Pryor's left foot, a floater to centre half forward. At the back, McPherson read it pretty well. His handball was not good. Cummings had to go around. Dunkley's hip and shoulder missed Cummings. Cummings back, pushes it out, gives McCurry a chance. McCurry's handball's a beauty. Symons is kick and they're in front. The Bombers in front.
Somerville doing very well in the ruck contest. The ball falls to Dyson. Maxfield is pinned. Away goes Wellman. Can't control it. Very slippery ball now. It spills wide. Oh, gee whiz, in trouble there was Chris Danaher. Now Mark Thompson. Left foot kick towards the half-forward line. And again, gee, that's a good mark taken by Ryan O'Connor. Handballs it away to Fraser. Fraser, very low. It may go past. No. And the free kick is going to Dunkley against Cummings and a 50-metre penalty. And that's fairly undisciplined play there by Scott Cummings. He was beaten pointlessly by the Swans defender. And in frustration, pushed him in the face or in the chest. Dunkley gets the 50 metres. Handball away. Cresswell's kick towards full forward, anticipating it was Fletcher. He looks as though he may have gone back to Lockett now. Harvey's kick to the wing has been marked by Fraser.
Away and going to centre the ball to James Hurd. Went very early. Kelly at the back. O'Connor having a wonderful turn. Hurd attacks from 50. Kicks a beauty to Cowthorpe. And here's another one. What a turnaround.
6.5 minutes left in the second term, and Essendon lead by the 8 behinds that they've kicked over and above the Swans. 5-8 to 5 goals. Philandia.
Found some space to Dyson. McPherson, he can go laterally again to Roos. Roos can attack. He's got to kick it. It's a beautiful kick. It was probably got to him a bit hard in the end. Kick it. A second go. Mercedes onto him. Kick it. Right foot. Brings it back. Wellman underneath it. Oh, wonderful effort by Creswell off the ground. Crawford goal.
You get to find that Paul Kelly's such a good initiator. Seeing Hurd is just getting so much of the ball anyway. I think Kelly might be better served for the Swans playing as a normal midfielder and letting someone else try and play that checking job on Hurd.
Maxfield's kick goes back towards the half-back area. Kelly, handball over the top. Chapman goes back towards half-back. Dyson forces it forward. Cresswell. Now Maxfield. Good combination of hand passes by the Swans. Maxfield's kick's too high. Just put Lockett underneath it. Harvey, that should have been throwing the ball. You can't do that, Mark. You've been playing long enough now to understand that that is certainly a free kick.
It was such a quick handball. He didn't have a chance to handball it. It actually ended up being a throw.
Well, a critical position on the ground, really, because the player will kick from only about 25 metres out, pretty well straight in front. 3 minutes before half-time, Michael O'Loughlin can wrench back the lead for the Swans. They've got the perfect score so far, not a blemish. O'Loughlin kicks from only 3 paces, makes no mistake, he gets his first goal for the evening.
Roos and O'Connor. O'Connor's had a big second term, lays it off cleverly. Danaher can't get through. Roos goes to ground. Denham out after it. McRae just blocked it. Doolan back to Denham. Denham's high ball to the pocket. Shea Cockatoo-Collins. A good attempt there by the youngster, but out of play. It's been on the interchange a bit. Cockatoo-Collins now back on.
Yeah, and Essendon using Peter Somerville differently now. They're not dropping him back so much. They're playing him more around midfield, which I think they've decided that Lockett was getting the ball anyway, so you might as well have Somerville up, making sure Stafford's not freeing on his own.
Roos clever in the end to McRae. McRae keeps it low to centre wing. There's Somerville in picture. Luff with him, Harvey. Well done by Stafford. He's a promising youngster, isn't he? goes inside to Chapman, back to Stafford. Good ball skills. The kick low towards Lockett, who's got his man, and that's a pretty good decision. Thompson immediately tried to get rid of it, and why wouldn't you when Plugger's bearing down on you? And it was a great tackle, but no reward there for Lockett except for a ball up 50 metres away. Doolan, well done. McRae was unable to get the right position. Dyson with courage forced Symons to miss it. Philandia back to McRae, who threw it out actually towards Dyson. Dyson tries to run through, can't get clear. Essendon hold it up. McRae has a go, going to ground. Doolan, handball away, not all that effective. Hard going there at the moment, back by Symons to Somerville. He's had a good match. So Stafford though, back into the centre. Roos playing well, can't get his kick, just a little slow in that situation. Cockatoo-Collins was onto him, and some good football all round there to force a throw up. Paul Roos, second effort, good, Robbo, and it's 7 goals to 5-8.
Yeah, really takes a desperate contest, and both sides are giving it. In that last 30 seconds of play, really every player put his body on the line when he had to.
Blood rule for Roosy, I think.
Paul Roos, yes.
Gee, I really appreciated his effort then, Lee, because he was outnumbered 3-1, and if the ball had just spilt away from him,
Paul Roos.
Essendon, yes. Essendon were away, weren't they? And he just kept on having a go at that.
Had the chance to kick the ball, got tackled, but then he had to make sure. Sometimes just purely making a contest and drawing a ball up is the maximum you can do, and that's exactly what Roos did on that occasion.
Well, you get a good look there at what forces Roos onto the interchange bench, albeit momentarily, and Seymour back into the fray. So perhaps he'll stay off now until after half-time, because there's less than a minute left in the second quarter. It's kicked forward there by Wellman to within scoring distance for Essendon. It clears the players at full forward. There's a chance here. Cockatoo-Collins dispossessed by Grant, and important. It's a kick off the ground by Cummings, I would suggest. A goal to Essendon.
Going to give it to Cummings, Robbo?
I don't know, Bruce. I'd have to have a photo finish of that one. It was very interesting, wasn't it, that second replay of it? But anyway, we'll give it to Cummings at this stage.
Roos has gone down into the rooms with half-time imminent, and he'll be patched up. So that late goal, very handy for Essendon. It just gives them a little edge very deep now into this second term. The long break beckoning, and it's 7 goals to 6-8. Strange looking scoreline, isn't it?
Twice as many scoring shots to Essendon.
And just a 2-point margin. So the Swans added 4 goals in that term, but Essendon kicked 5 goals, 3. And I think Lee, Cummings and O'Connor gave them something up forward, didn't they, with a bit of marking power. 42 to 44 as they leave at half-time. As we start the second half of Friday night football, and Essendon going to the left of screen. It's been a very good game of football in difficult conditions. Just looking to see if, Paul Roos is back, Lee. I was looking for him, he's in defence. Had a little nick under the eye. Look at Kickett and Hurd. Chapman, McRae, who hasn't really been able to get much of a handle on it. Harvey's been good around the body. Philandia, courageous, kept his eye on it, then bangs it as far as he can to centre wing. Oh, good take. It's a very good take. A surprising mark, really, in front of Thompson. He's had 11 kicks to half-time. O'Loughlin, good mover, O'Loughlin. He had a stunning debut on this ground last season. Kicked 4 goals and looked the goods, and he's a most accomplished play. Kicked to centre half forward. Maxfield didn't really look, banged it away. Lockett at the back, had a bit of carry the ball over the back. Harvey, Lockett to put the pressure on Harvey to the boundary line, finds it out of play in the right back pocket for Essendon. Maxfield missing everyone there, but under pressure. But in that second term, he had a wonderful chance to hit Lockett lace out and missed him completely. He's just blazed a bit tonight. Kick it. Well done. Couldn't quite get his boot to it. Denham was with him. Kick it again. And still nobody able to get through. We're going to see a fair bit of this, I think, in the second half, as we did in the opening half of this match. So just repeating the fact, there's just a point the difference. It's 6-7 the Bombers, and Sydney 7 goals.
Well, Kickett might have been able to get away if he hadn't been covered in mud. This is Wellman. Bumped off the football. Important too. Cresswell kicks it to the goal square. Lockett behind. Couldn't take the mark. Fletcher. Now this is Fraser for Essendon. He runs away from the back pocket. Kicks out close to the line. And a good contest here between Doolan and McRae. Doolan appealing for a free kick, but not forthcoming. The boundary umpire will throw it in at right half forward for the Swans. It's about 65, maybe 75 metres from their goal. And the ruckman to contest this. It comes down to Pryor. He's able to run away from the half-back line. Kicks it towards half-forward. It bounces into vacant ground down there. And Paul Kelly, just frustratingly, it slips through his hands and over for a throw-in. Don't often see that. Mishandling by the Brownlow medalist Paul Kelly. And at the start of the third term, manning up on James Hird as he did early in the game. Ruck contest. The ball spills to the front. Kelly kick down towards the wing, and another very good take by Arnott. Swans fans appealing for a 50-metre penalty, but umpire having nothing to do with that.
Centering kick. Is that a free kick for Luff? Not paid. O'Donnell. He's had a fairly quiet night. Denham to Danaher, who kicked the first goal for Essendon tonight. Hird's in a good position. Well done, Kelly at the back. Hird, can he get it over to Cummings? Dunkley went off the ground. Still hasn't got it to the boundary. Hird, good pick up, quick kick. He saw Cummings, found him. It was good play. He knew exactly where everybody was on the ground at that moment, James Hird.
I think Scott Cummings must have super glue on his hands. That was a fantastic slips catch. I mean, a great play by Hird. The second effort to keep his feet and go after the ball again, but really a great diving catch by Cummings.
He's kicked a couple. Kicked 6 in the opening match and got reported and suspended, and came back and kicked 4 in his second match. His strike rate's very good. He was the leading goal kicker at the club a couple of years ago. Kicked 8 against Sydney on debut at the Melbourne Cricket Ground in 1994. He does look to be the full forward that Essendon has been searching for a couple of seasons. And that's not a bad kick from there by Cummings, just missing. Danaher's big fly. McRae brought to ground. Doolan again to Hird. Hird whips out the handball in the Cockatoo-Collins direction, in the pocket. Kelly's hip and shoulder good, out of play. About 45 metres from goal. It's a quiet night, Cockatoo-Collins. Just 1 kick and 3 handballs. It's a goal-scoring forward. Did well in the Anzac Day clash against Collingwood in that goal-kicking role. O'Connor's been good. Takes it out of the air. Back to Hird again. Hird to fall forward. Symons the only man to go. It's just got too much height for Philandia and too much spring, and Philandia stayed down. And Mercury coming on.
He does that very well, Symons, the third man up jumping play, sort of at the mark. Philandia, of course, more small back pocket player, and Symons' ability to mark the ball is always going to make him vulnerable. It hasn't really worked out that way tonight just yet, but that was just one occasion where Symons' ability to leap into the mark, and Philandia stayed down, didn't go 4th up, which you have to do if your opponent goes 3rd up. So Symons has got what looks like an easy shot for goal.
And Cummingsley did a pretty good job on Dunkley there, just to
hold him down.
Yep. So Symons not the most reliable kick, but this looks a sitter, and he bangs it through. Somerville, McRae, who came on the ground after Doolan had stitched Luff up early, to centre half forward. Lockett underneath it. Harvey getting back. He's just played the sweeping role very well. He had a wild. Fletcher, little give was good. Over the top by Wellman was okay. Back to Harvey. That's out on the full. But he has just played as the man at the back, reading the ball well, Harvey. Chipping away. He's had 12 kicks and 1 handball. He's quite a remarkable player, Harvey. His longevity and the fact that he's been able to come back from injury and his courage has made him a bit of a legend. McRae, that was quite clever. Kick to the pocket. Carey over the back. Good chance for Creswell. Denham kept his hands off. Pressured him. Forced it out in the pocket.
As you mentioned, Harvey, Marco reads the play so wonderfully well. He gives his opponent a little bit of space because he just backs his ability to read the ball, and he's just doing it so well tonight.
Sydney need a goal. Somerville and Stafford. Somerville did well, got to the front. Down to Mercedes, couldn't get it away. Kicker was in there, well done to Arnott. Arnott's left foot finds Lockett.
Play on's been called.
Left foot, he'll kick it. He's kicked his 5th. Well, he's a remarkable player, and instinctively he's always been good, and he read that, and he understood that the umpire called play on, and he was quick to react.
Well, he was, yes. I mean, the umpire didn't say the ball went far enough for a mark, but was the first player to really pick up that the fact that it wasn't a mark. Fletcher was ready to stand the mark, as was Wellman, and then really a good left shot over his right shoulder. Swans desperately needed that.
Carey. At the back, Wellman. Crawford tried, couldn't. Thompson, a wobbler to centre wing. McCurry's had a quiet night. Here's Cowthorpe fending off, charging away, kicking the ball wide, and Seymour in the front spot, that taller man on Symons. After Lee had told us the problems that Philandia was having, that's a good kick to Carey, and he's done all right. Carey hasn't had a lot of possessions, but he's done a bit in his first game. Pushes inside to Creswell, so Sydney getting a bit of the football late in this third quarter. Creswell attacks to fall forward. Lockett can't get into position, and good mark to Joe Masidi, with Somerville bearing down his teammate. And Masidi with Fletcher wide, and he's going to push it out, and now this is how Essendon have set it up a few times tonight.
Fletcher's in the left back pocket, minding the mark there. Here's Crawford. So Fletcher just holding up play, no one really to kick to. Now he goes long in the direction of the wing, and the mark is taken by Wellman. He did pretty well in the finish. He was just in a slightly inferior position to his Swans opponent, but took the mark. His kick goes in towards centre half forward. Oh, top mark. Absolute top mark taken by Hurd. It's been a terrific contest, but James Hurd, well, he's taken the point so far. His kick across the half forward line, leave it, the bloke at the back. Yes, it's a mark to Essendon. Cummings. Well, Cummings, if Essendon are to win this game, you would think that Scott Cummings just has to start converting these chances.
Thompson coming off for Robbo and Cockatoo-Collins on.
So Cummings is kicking from about 40 metres. The angle, not his greatest difficulty. Swirling breeze prevailing here at the Sydney Cricket Ground has made it a little bit difficult for players to judge. But he's a good kick of the football. And he thumps it towards goal. It looks pretty good. It's a goal to Cummings.
Dyson, quick hands. Maxfield had to concede ground. McRae, does he get a good bounce? No, he couldn't quite take hold of it. Important here. Symons, Seymour gave it up to Doolins, had a great game. Fraser's hands were quick. He knew the man was coming. Symons out wide to Cowthorpe. Now Hurd's the man. Go to Jimmy with a long handball. He does. Let's see if he can finish it off. He will to Mercury. He'll kick a goal. He does. So we begin the final term. Friday night football at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Essendon getting away in the third quarter with a handy break. They lead by 2 goals 10. Cowthorpe gets it from Pryor to Doolan, who's had a superb game. Cummings takes it well, ridden to the ground by Dunkley, but fairly. McRae away. Very few possessions. He did a fair job on Doolan when he first came on, but Doolan cut him in the third. And Harvey's got it at centre wing. Played well. Hurd in the front. Still Kelly with him. He has persisted, Rodney Eade. Kelly trying to barge through.
Peter Philandia was Michael Symons, a marking player, shifted off him onto Mark McCurry, who's another very good medium-sized marking player. So interested to see how that contest goes this quarter.
Essendon may have the balance of power by the look of it. McCurry. Fraser went to ground. Then missed Young. McRae went to ground. Somerville's been good. Back to Young. Young to Pryor. Pryor away from the goal. Tries to hook it back. Does. Reasonable effort. Hurd went early. Gave a free kick away. Kelly to take it. At half back.
He took the mark, didn't he?
Kelly, did he?
I think Hurd took it to the ground.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
We'll have another look at this, Bruce. He took the mark.
It's a good effort, wasn't it?
Oh, top effort.
Ruse wide. His target, Carey. Wellman seemed to get hold of him a bit. Somerville back. Carey got his boot in the way. Wellman and Carey after it. A hip and shoulder. Good effort by both. Then they try to get the ball out. Leg. Shannon Grant will get a free kick. He's got kick it on if he can get up in a hurry. Doesn't. Sydney have got to take advantage of every forward thrust you'd feel.
I think Cockatoo-Collins are professional if there's such a thing now, free kick. The kick in towards half forward. It spills now, maybe Denham a chance. Somehow scrambles the ball out to Barry Young. Then O'Donnell just directing traffic from half back. Pryor has taken the mark. Looks to get back onto his favoured right foot. And then just chips it in short. And the mark is taken by Mercury. Mercury has been a little quiet. Only 5 possession. Runs around. Kicks across his left shoulder in towards full forward. Cummings from behind. In front was McPherson. Cummings gets rid of that player. O'Connor provides the tackle on Dunkley, but Dunkley goes after it again, gathers and then hacks it down towards the wing. It bounces in open territory. Back goes O'Donnell. He's quite prepared to allow the ball to go over. Swans fans appealing for a free kick deliberate as O'Loughlin comes off the ground and Chapman goes back into the fray, but the boundary umpire will throw it in just forward of centre wing in the Swans attacking half. Somerville gets his right hand to it. Crawford kicks it forward for the Swans to the 50-metre line. Punched away. Very well done by Cockatoo-Collins. Pryor dispossessed. It falls down to Shannon Grant. Grant goes in towards full forward. Good unselfish play. He could have blasted away, but he put it onto the chest of Lockett. And Lockett a chance to get his 6th goal. Good play by Grant. And I'm sure the burly full forward would have been licking his chops when he led out there. He'll kick from only 25 metres. And again, you would suggest that he could overcome the slight angle that he's on. Maybe to give the Swans a glimmer of a hope. Beautiful kick. Is a goal. 6 to Lockett.
And they trailed here by 22, so they won't be completely out of this from their reckoning. Next goal now starts to become a critical one. Mercury to Somerville. That's a good kick by the big fellow. They've got the numbers. Oh, Cummings, well done. He's been a bit too good for Dunkley, and we haven't said that too many times this year.
No, he has. He's just outmarked Dunkley 3 or 4 times in those one-on-one contests. Just a little bit too tall. He's used his body to sort of push into Dunkley and then maintain his height to take the ball to its highest point, and done that extremely well.
Gee, you'd love to work out how the umpires create these angles, though. Huh?
Well, it's from the centre of the goals, the direct centre between the 2 goalposts, and it's a direct angle to the man on the mark. It's as simple as that, even though it does look a bit silly sometimes.
I think you're being kindly.
No, well, that's the actual rule.
No, fair enough, I understand that.
And that's exactly what he's done.
Well, he's kicked 3-3 Cummings. He's improving the angle just a touch. Oh. Well, they're still in the box seat, but if they happen to lose tonight, they've had half a dozen shots, Essendon, that have been pretty much gimmies, haven't they?
The funny kicks, though, is if he's on the other side of the ground, so he's got that natural sort of slide hook in the kick, it's an easy shot for goal, but you get a bit scared of that right-hand goalpost from that angle, and he's completely mistimed the kick.
So you wouldn't have given him too many out of 10 for it, though, would you? The kick in.
Absolutely.
Still Essendon a chance. Denham. Kick forward by Mercedes. At half forward, Essendon mark taken by Barry Young.
And that was the zoning situation where the Essendon players in their zone positions defending the kick-off, and once Essendon got the first possession out on the half-forward flank here, then it was a question of the Essendon players basically queuing up who was going to mark it.
Well, Barry Young, who is probably, well, not blessed with accuracy as far as his goal kicking is concerned. He's shooting from 40 metres directly in front. The kick comes back with the breeze, and it is an Essendon goal, kicked by Young.
Chapman out of the centre. High ball, going to be difficult to mark. Arnott, well done. He's shown some promise. Was going to go on, now pushes wide in the direction of Kelly. You feel that he's going to have to go forward in a hurry in this last turn to give Sydney a chance. Lockett marks a long way from goal. Not impossible that he could kick this, but it's a really difficult shot from that pocket. From this other side would have a better chance, but this would be an outstanding kick. He's kicked 6 tonight. He's been their lone forward, really. 6 out of 9. It's been a very significant and worthwhile contribution by the big fellow. There's his kick. It's close. He's hit the post. Gee, he's a good kick from there. unlucky.
Very hard to win games with one forward, even if that forward's as good as Tony Lockett, and that's really been Sydney's problem tonight. Lockett's kick is 5 or 6, but just haven't been able to have anyone else to get amongst the goal scoring.
Well, you said, Lee, that he probably had to kick about 8, and that was in the second term for them to win. Kelly waits, back to McRae. McRae's handball inboard. There's 3 Swans there. Chapman took a while, puts Creswell under the hammer, and this is a big turnover now. This could really sting.
Some very, very fierce and quick tackling by Essendon, and the ball spills in towards half forward. Now the chances with Hurd. He goes straight into an open goal, James Hurd, and he does make the Swans pay. He's kicked the goal.
Prior to O'Donnell, O'Donnell's lovely kick finds Mercury.
Mercury is not quite down to the wing. One bounce, looking to give the hand pass away. Well, he nearly stopped there. O'Donnell, not a bad kick, finds Cockatoo-Collins. Handball over the top, Harvey, forced to kick with his left foot in towards the middle of the ground. Kick it, gathers the ball and then spins around onto his left foot. Goes across the half-back line. Oh, he's given it up. Brilliantly anticipated by Fraser, and Fraser goes in and misses from Darren Pritchard area.
One of the problems with Mark Fraser's game, he runs so quickly and with such long strides, he has trouble getting balance for his final kicking step, and he's not a good kick on the run because of that long striding action, and he's never quite completely balanced when he kicks the ball.
27 scoring shots to 14. Kelly to kick in for Sydney. Outside 50, nearly the mark taken by O'Connor. Gatherers by Mercedes, just about hands it to O'Connor. O'Connor gets a kick out of it. It falls to Mercury. Mercury goes in from a difficult angle, and it may have gone across the face. The goal umpire could tell that ball went in very quickly, but it's been deemed as out of bounds on the full, so the free kick for the Sydney Swans to be taken in their right back pocket. Surely, by Peter Philandia.
Mark Fraser being interchanged, surely it's not just for missing that goal. In fact, he's come to the interchange bench, but he's gone back onto the field, so someone's changed their mind down there.
Now, this is what I was talking about. The goal umpire signalled, I'm sure, that it was out of bounds on the full. The boundary umpire from this near side of the ground has awarded a behind to Essendon. Philandia kicks it out wide, and mark is taken by Stafford.
And Crawford away towards Lockett at centre half forward. Had a chance there, Lockett. Fletcher will use his pace here. Lockett in pursuit. They try and clean him up. Symons, Lockett still going with Fletcher. Oh, careful, boys. That's a bit... He's all right.
He's done well to recover there.
Got to say that the fans there were a bit overzealous cheering all that.
Well, he's pretty pleased with his effort, and assuredly so.
So the throw-in, Carey, and also O'Connor thumper back. Is he bleeding, Fletcher?
Maybe on the
forehead, I think he is. So the Swans trailing pretty badly now, 9 goals, 5 to 12-16. So Fletcher will stay on until the umpires to spot him. Now free kick to Carey. Kicks to Stafford, gets back, takes it. Denham holds him up. And Stafford a long way out, Lockett wanting it deep.
See the Essendon players just dropping off their man, covering all the holes. If it does go to Lockett, it'll be a sort of a 1-on-3 contest.
Hasn't kicked a goal this season, Stafford. And kick from 55. Gee, torpedo, he's given it a ride. It's close, it's a wonderful kick.
22,000 fans here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Justin Fletcher on the interchange bench being attended to. That cut when he paid a visit to the front row down here in the members area.
That's a great crowd, isn't it? 22,000 here tonight.
Well, I think they said in the lead up to the first bounce that it could be a record. Now, is it a record for Swans versus Essendon maybe? But free kick here to Stafford. Didn't he kick a magnificent goal? He plays on and kicks it high to half forward. No one home for the Swans. You wonder who he was trying to kick that to. They've given the ball up. Harvey. Very well done finds Cummings. Cummings is on centre wing. He can go short, and he does. Just gave it up there as if he was going to go long, and then went short to Berbatov. Berbatov is at left half forward. He hooks the kick in towards the centre half forward area. Seymour, that may have been touched off the boot. It's play on. The Swans defence force it out close to the line. Philandia harassed out there by Cummings. The mark has been taken. It's Crawford. Crawford plays on, kicks it in towards the middle of the ground. Joe Mercedes, Chapman, run down by Symons. Ball spills for Pryor. Now it comes back to Young. Young goes to Denham. Denham quickly. He's a scrambler. Sean Denham to half forward, and the mark is taken back there by McPherson.
Swings it wide. Philandia, the man, finds him. Sydney raising another effort here. Grant on the lead. Can he get rid of Cockatoo-Collins? Does, then goes to ground, picks himself up. Normally good on the left. He's got Lockett. I like that, Grant. Gee, twice in this last quarter he's shown a cool head for a teenager.
2 years ago, I think he was drafted, I think, either 1 or 2 by the Swans, and was regarded as one of the very best young players. Had a bad ankle injury, I think it was, that interrupted his season last year, and I think tonight's the best game I've seen him play to this point, but I think there'll be very, very many more good games that he'll play in his career.
Well, this to keep Sydney in with just a chance. They trail by 23 points, getting deep into the last quarter. Lockett for his 7th goal. He's got it.
Cockatoo-Collins off the ground and Chris Danaher back on. Essendon may get clear of the centre. Kelthorpe gets away from Luff. Now Symons gives away a bit of ground. Back to the captain O'Donnell. O'Donnell to half forward. Nearly taken by Seymour. Under pressure at half back. The Swans will get clear. This is Arnott. Arnott's kicked to half forward. It's punched away from Grant. The ball will spill. Fraser leaves it for Harvey, but he's just cleaned up and out of the way. Grant in towards half forward. Out in front and beautifully onto the chest of Lockett. The momentum is with the Swans. Whether there's enough time left. Under 7 minutes. And Lockett for his 8th goal.
Another magnificent pass by Grant. He saw Lockett drop into that part of the field, hooked the ball across his body out in front. Yeah, very good play.
So Tony Lockett, 7 goals from 11 kicks. Can he make it 8 from 12? There's a big roar about to come up here at the Sydney Cricket Ground if Tony Lockett can get his 8th goal. And he has, and watch the crowd.
So Sydney coming home with a rush. 12-5, 12-16. Creswell out of the centre. Bouncing ball. Doolan back on it. Takes a while. Gets the handball pressure. Free kick to Grant. No. Play on called. Essendon kept there quickly and hold it up. And Grant's playing some sort of a last quarter. You wouldn't want him to get the footy if you're an Essendon fan or player right now, because every time he touches it, something happens. He's had 20 touches tonight. 50 metres from goal. Luff out of the air. Couldn't quite. Denham. Philandia held it up. Chapman. Clever. Not quite. Now Philandia. Round the body. Blazing and out of bounds, but in the pocket. And Sydney in attack. Plenty of time left for 2 goals. They seem out of it, the Swans, 5 minutes ago. 11 points the margin. It's been close most of the night, but then Essendon got away halfway through the 3rd quarter. Philandia again after it. They're coming home well, Sydney. At half forward, Grant clever, kept it in, brings it back to kick it. Well, everything he touches is turning to gold, Shannon Grant. And this man loves a stage, and one has been set for him right now. If he can dob this one through, Sydney are back within a kick.
Play in front, wet ball last quarter, that's where the kick's going to go more often than not. When players are tired, the ball's heavy, the ball's usually going to drop short and kick it red at the best off Grant's boot.
It'll take a great kick. That is a beauty! Have a look at that
one! Well, there's some pressure on some players out there now. Pryor kicks in and finds O'Donnell.
He'll try and use it, O'Donnell. And try and find his man. The captain directing a bit of traffic. It's tightened right up now. What a big match this is for the 2 clubs in the context of this season. Very short, gets Young. Now,
gee, is it too much time left for them to mess around like this, isn't it? 2.5 minutes.
Sitting on it. They won't know exactly how long to go. Young in the back pocket. Centre wing the kick. Stafford, great fly. Seymour must use it. Oh, good handball. Out wide to Crawford. Crawford, beautiful kick to Carey all on his own. The kid's got a chance to put him in front in his first game of footy.
Oh no, they're bringing the ball back.
What's happened?
Playing the Stafford mark.
Oh.
Can't play advantage from a marking situation. It's a very unlucky ball for the Swans, I must say, but I suppose once the umpire paid the mark, that's the only thing that can happen.
Ironic, isn't it? That they've paid that great mark and it's cost them so dearly, and Stafford may give it straight back to Essendon. One hand there by Pryor. Sydney able to keep it there. So it's going to be a throw up with Sydney attacking 30 metres from goal. 13-6 to 12-17. Well, a moment ago, Carey had the chance. Creswell, well done, Mercedes, very well done. Then tries to ride a tackle, out to centre wing, every ball important. Hurd tries to bring it forward, then concedes a bit of ground to Young. Beautifully robbed by Kelly. We haven't seen enough of that tonight because he's been playing as a defender. Sydney player crunched, scragged.
Oh, dear. That's terrific.
Desperate situation now, and that's what both players from both sides are really going at it the only way you can, desperately at every contest.
Don't you admire that? I mean, everybody gets a terrific buzz out of that sort of footy. The umpire throws it in the air, 50 metres from the Swans' goal. There'll be a sad loser here because it's been a terrific battle. The ball is in front of the Swans' goal. Lockett, away to Crawford. Crawford's kicked it out. The Swans are in front.
He's a player, that Lockett, isn't he, Lee?
Well, really, wet, slippery ball. He's come out, he's met it in his toes. I mean, big man, as we know, great mark. But the ability to take the first possession and then think his way clear, set up that goal. I mean, real desperate play by all concerned.
What a finish. Sydney coming home like a train here. They've hit the front. 14-6 to 12-17. Probably time for one more goal either way. It'll be the winner, Denham. Out wide, Doolan. O'Donnell had a fumble. Harvey, a cool head required. The kick to centre half forward. Hurd! What a mark! Came from the side. He's got Cummings in the goal square. He can kick a long ball. He's going to go torpedo punt. Gets onto it. It's going and going and going, and he misses. It's a behind.
It was interesting, that centre bounce.
Scores are level. Sorry, Lee.
Well, the Swans actually pulled their loose man back in defence and Essendon had about 3 guys spare on their half-back line, and that initiated the launch. It maybe is going defensive just a minute too early.
Look at that scoreboard. 20 shots to 30. It's all square at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
40 seconds left.
Dyson's long ball to half-back. Stafford and Somerville. A score for anyone wins it. Symons after it. Kick it to try and run him down. Symons pushes it out in the direction now of Barry Young. Philandia, well done. Now Arnott, a youngster's got to keep a cool head. Bangs it to centre wing. Fletcher missed it. Carey, well done. Beautiful hands to Roos. Roos out wide. It looks like it might be a draw. It's centre wing. It's a long way from Essendon's goal, and it's a long way from Sydney's goal. This has been a fantastic comeback by the Swans. A wonderful finish to an exciting match of football that for about 5 minutes in this last quarter seemed dead and buried until Stafford kicked a booming torpedo punt. Could Sydney get another one? Crawford goes in there, and there's 2 or 3 players, including Berbakoff, all over the top. And the betting now is that this will be a draw. And for Sydney, it's like a win.
He'll throw the ball in the air and the siren will go, Bruce.
And it'll be the one that gets away again for Essendon, you'd think, even though they had the last score in this match. The throw up, and that's it, it's a draw.